Welcome back to the channel, folks. Here's the breaking news about the fourth stimulus payments.
Madam Speaker, I want to ask you, after this week, obviously this is a momentous moment for the Democratic Party, but you also had to deal with the censure vote this week. You had to deal last night with Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy's 8.5 hour speech. What do you feel like the tone and tenor of the House of Representatives is at this moment, and what can be done to try to bridge some of those gaps in trust?
Well, let me just say that I don't specifically agree with your first sentence saying a great day for the Democratic Party. Maybe it is. But it's a great day for our country. And that's why we are so thrilled about it. It's for the people. It should be bipartisan. It should be bipartisan. The fact that they would rather give tax cuts to the richest people at 83% of the benefits going to the top 1% without any pay for is a stark difference between what we do in this legislation. And I didn't even pay attention to the speech. I don't even listen to most of the speeches on the other side because they're not fraught with meaning or fact. So I don't have my computer get bothered with that. But the fact is that the censure, they could improve their behavior. They don't have to threaten to kill members of Congress or threaten the life of the President of the United States. So you say, what can we do to bring people together? Well, we can encourage everyone to honor the Rule 23 of the House, which is that you must bring credit to the House of Representatives. But with that, I'm going to yield to my colleagues for any answers they may have on the subject of your question.
$2.6 trillion surplus that is projected, in fact, to grow to over $4 trillion by the year 2023. We, of course, need a vigorous debate about how we deal with the deficit crisis and our national debt. But Social Security, independently funded, with a $2.6 trillion surplus, having not contributed one nickel to the national debt, should not be part of that debate. Mr. President, I understand that there are many people in the Senate, many of my Republican colleagues, who do not like Social Security, who do not believe in Social Security, because essentially they do not believe that the government should be involved in retirement insurance for seniors or for people with disabilities. And I respect their point of view. I very strongly disagree with it. And the real problem that they have is that Social Security is enormously popular. Poll after poll shows the American people do not want to see Social Security cut.
First of all, congratulations, Madam Speaker. This is an historic piece of legislation. You are its leader with, as you say, the vision of the President of the United States. This bill will speak for itself to millions and millions and millions and millions of Americans whose lives will be made more secure, more richer in the terms of quality of life, whose educational opportunities will be greater, and whose job opportunities will be greatly enhanced. And America's competitiveness in the world will be heightened for the 21st century. As the President said, this is a transformational piece of legislation. It's a big win for the people, for the average working men and women of America, for those who struggle every day and hope that somebody is on their side. Somebody is listening.
Let me just say that you've heard me say it again and again. All of this would not be possible without the great work of our committees, members of the committee and staffs of the committee, and our distinguished chairs. Three of them are with us in terms of the substance of the legislation: Mr. Neal of Ways and Means, Mr. Pallone of Energy and Commerce, and Mr. Scott of, I should say, Chairman of Education and Labor. But the person who facilitated this for us again and again was the Chairman of the Rules Committee, Mr. McGovern. Thank you, Mr. McGovern, for bringing us to the floor again and again. And yesterday, in record time, however, good thing that happened. And then I'm honored to be here also with our leadership. This is legislation that creates millions of good-paying jobs, gives tax cuts to the middle class, lowers costs, especially health care costs and child care costs for the middle class, and is paid for 100%. And again, we're very excited about what it does for the children, for the families. And it's, again, if you're a mom, a dad, a family caregiver, or the rest, this bill's for you. If you care about the planet and how we pass it on to our children, as this bill's for you, whether it's about right now their health and the health and well-being, whether it's good-paying jobs for their family and green technology, good union jobs. If it's the security of our country by preventing and hoping to mitigate for conflicts that come from conflict over resources and habitat. It's a national security issue and, of course, a moral issue to pass the planet on in good shape to future generations. So with that, I'm honored to be here with them and with members of our leadership, Mr. Aguilar, I know that Distinguished Chairman Mr. Jeffries.
Lawmakers are now warning Biden about the new IRS tax enforcement and how it can negatively affect Americans. And today, the House of Representatives passed the largest expansion of the social safety net in decades. That's a $1.75 trillion bill that funds universal pre-K. Plus the final vote was 220 to 213. And now that it has cleared the House, Joe Biden Build Back Better Act goes to the Senate, where it is likely to be revised in the coming weeks. Schumer said he aims to have the chamber pass the bill before Christmas, and the House will need to vote on it again if the bill is altered. If the measure is signed into law, the bill will profoundly change how Americans live. And currently the bill includes universal preschool and help for paid parental leave. But Pelosi and Democrats everybody have initially hoped to pass this bill on November 15th. That's the same day the chamber voted to pass a $1 trillion infrastructure bill. Democratic moderates insisted upon seeing a Congressional Budget Office's analysis of the bill's impacts before they voted on it. That analysis was released Thursday. House Democrats had hoped for a vote Thursday night, but Republican leader Kevin McCarthy derailed those plans. And the Build Back Better Act and a separate bipartisan bill together will represent the defining achievement of Biden's first year in office. What are your thoughts about Biden, everybody? Is he helping out all the American people with a fourth stimulus check? Tell me in the comments below. So together they fulfill his core campaign promise to be a president for the middle class. As inflation and global supply chain crisis dominate many Americans' sentiments about the economy. So now that it has cleared the House, the Build Back Better Act goes to the Senate, where it is likely to be revised in the coming weeks. And there are two conservatives like Manchin and Sinema who have to vote on this bill and get it passed. Do you guys agree with me? Tell me in the comments down below. Good news, folks. President Biden could sign a fourth stimulus check into law.